matches. You make these things possible, and we appreciate it. So, all right, Eric, the 3-minute is on. You and I
think, yeah, but overall, I think Vidit is playing fine, and I don't think it's over yet. As Hikaru is calling the match, or he thinks Wesley's a big favorite. I think Vidit's still in with the shout.
Okay. Well, we have our first scotch. Makes me excited, I guess. Not just for a good scotch, which everyone enjoys.
I would, yeah.
On a Friday afternoon, why not? But I'm even, in this case, just referring to the fact that the scotch opening, a part of my repertoire for anybody that cares, something that I've always enjoyed playing. But here we've got a sharp Mysis variation. Are you a scotch connoisseur of either kind?
Yes. I picked up the drink before the opening. Yeah, I can appreciate a good scotch.
Yeah.
In Blitz, I think the scotch is a better temp than in classical.
Yes.
Right, because you can sacrifice more. You can, I don't know. You don't have to rely on memorize. It's a very concrete opening in a lot of the main lines, and so even though you might be well prepared, your opponent could also be very well prepared, and it's not always fun when that happens.
Right.
But in Blitz, we have these open positions with active pieces for both sides. So I like the positions when they're actually there's some play in there and some flexibility.
No, I think you make a great point. I think Scotch has died down in a lot of high-level circles as far as OTB classical, but still a very common feature by players from Magnus Carlsen to guys like Nepomniachtchi, especially in Rapid and Blitz events.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good opening. I don't think people should be dissuaded from what I just said. I think for almost everyone, it's a playable opening, and it's good to have it as a second option. There's the classical Spanish lines. That's, the bread and butter of chess for hundreds of years. But having the Scotch as this aggressive approach, different treatment, can throw some of your opponents off guard. Like, for example, I remember when I was playing like older guys when I was a little kid, like let's say older, I mean like let's say seniors, or they seem to be seniors. I would play the Scotch more, because I'd be like, oh, it's going to be open, it's going to a higher chance of blundering or mess up the position. Where I know in a very positional game,
a Spanish sort of closed structure or something,
they're going to outplay me and they're going to grind me, and they know all the patterns. Here, there's some,
I was about to say, no, that's another good practical point of when and how to play it. And I was going to be slightly critical of Vidit's approach positionally. This is normally exactly the type of thing you want to avoid on the black side of a Scotch. If Wesley can establish a knight on c4, you've got these horrible doubled pawns. But whoever's got control over this d-file first. I thought there was also this idea, instead of knight d3, Eric, this idea of knight c2 and bringing the knight into d4. So,
yeah, the only problem is that trades. Yeah, no, that
trades favor white positionally, right? But so black has to keep the activity to justify these positional problems.
Yeah, one of the things because let's say we trade off the light squared bishops, and that knight on c2 was traded for white's bishop. White would have the c4 square for the knight, and that would be potentially
good. That would be delicious. Yep.
Yeah. Although we might see that still, and Vidit might still play around it. He doesn't mind these double c-pawns. He takes this in the Catalan a lot as well. So at the same time, I think
I feel like here is and maybe this is now my bias coming out about the fact that I've played these types of positions of Scotch. This just usually feels like a big positional win. That's why I thought knight c2, knight d4 was a better try for black, because then you're trying to induce the bishop to trade on d4. So bishop to c3. Okay, Vidit has to keep the d-file and the practical pressure that brings everyone to justify long-term problems. But
long-term problems might involve f4, f5, and steamrolling.
Ooh, now you're talking.
Steamrolling Vidit. He might be willing to meet f4 with f5 himself, but still, the knight on e3 can really help support that pawn chain.
Yeah. Okay, he takes it, and I guess he can just get away with that. But funny idea for Wesley is he's saying, well, I lose the e-pawn, but even now, your extra pawn is what? Doubled and isolated c and a pawn. So,
Danny, I have to say, I didn't realize it was hanging, or, I think it's a Wesley syndrome where I just don't believe the guy blunders pawns.
Right.
I don't know. You know, it's just
I admit this was like that
it's
B4
happened.
tactic. I
It's
wasn't looking for
happened
it either.
multiple times, but it mainly happens when Wesley's playing.
Right.
Because if it's like Hikaru, well, we know Hikaru blunders, and then he comes back and you know wins games down material, and I blunder and Magnus blunders, but Wesley, I'm like, no, not possible. It can't be true.
Hikaru giving you some love in the Chess TV chat, saying Eric's the best. I think he's talking. He loves your commentary. Very good in bullet, but you blundered against Laquan.
Oh, that's true. I had some of the worst blunders of my life recently. So I realized that I need to play and commentate. I need to balance it more because I lost my sense of danger. Because I'm used to you. I'm used to having a partner to back me up. If I blunder, then you offer a hand. You're like,
I was going to say you were used to playing guys like me in chess who don't catch your blunder.
No. Commentating with you, I don't have a Danny card, a phone a friend during the games, and that I was.
It is amazing how just I mean I know we're partly teasing, but you're right. Just commentating with another title player, like if one side doesn't see a blunder, the other side almost always does, right? You just your cumulative strength goes way up because you're keeping each other in check.
So I missed you. I needed a Danny on my shoulder.
But Yermo once told me that Uncle Yermo once kind of warned me. He said, if and when you ever come back to chess, it's like riding a bike or in life. The last skills you've really developed as a high-level chess player are the first ones to leave. And usually kind of the last skills that strong GMs like yourself really develop is that super high-level sense of danger, right? Where you don't blunder and beat yourself. That in Blitz, you're not always challenged to see all those tactics. And so that doesn't surprise me that you say that because you haven't been playing that much, one of the things that kind of goes away is your high level sense of danger, right?
Yep. It was definitely learning. Well, these guys I think chess players now are playing more than ever before in history, right? If you look at the average player, they're playing more online and they're playing more tournaments. So the field will separate even more from pro players and non-pro players. The pro players are getting better and they're playing more and they're always in shape and always working. So it's it's more noticeable now with the current schedule.
Very strange approach right now, but it looks like in the end Harry will decide who wins this one because I don't think Vidit's going to get enough compensation fast enough.
I think it's just game over. King f4, king takes f5, and the knight can't hide on. Okay, he's going to hide on h8.
Last chance to gain a few tempi, but it's still too slow. Yeah, I don't see any reason why. Ooh, 95 even stronger. Then take, and here comes knight g6. Knight
push
g6.
the g-pawn. Yeah, well, everything works. Your line works well, but just push the g-pawn.
Okay, well, Hikaru's predictions so far holding up that